Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé. This is season 9, episode 15, The Last Sip Single. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Wah, and I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiancé, Married at First Sight, Love After Lockup, etc. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and join the Just Call Me Wah family by subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up. If at any point during this show you get the hee hee ha ha's and you would like to drop your girl a tip, you can do so here. As you can see scrolling along the bottom of your screen, I take Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Girl, if you just want to do something on YouTube, you can look 4 spaces over from the thumbs up and give me a little thank you at any time. You don't have to be live to give a thank you. Well, I think that is it. We can jump into this. Oh, you know what? Me and my good Judy Chris Fair, we started a podcast. And that podcast is now available wherever you listen to podcasts. Spotify, Apple. I was going to say Google, but I don't know what's happening. It's not on Google yet, but it will be. All those other places where you could possibly listen to a podcast, it's available. We talk about Love in Paradise, the Caribbean, a 90-day story, which is a spinoff on Discovery Plus, talking about people from the US who have fallen in love specifically and are thinking to do the K1 visa with someone from the Caribbean. Okay, we've got Jamaica, we've got Dominican Republic, we've got Costa Rica, we got all those places. So if you were at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my podcast. It's called Docusweeties. And if you want more of the Docusweeties, you can go to our Patreon and join for $10 a month. And we're giving you lots and lots of content. There's a lot of stuff on there right now. There's the intro, there's our jingle, there is the video version of the podcast. So guys, if you just can't get enough of me and Chris, please patreon.com/docusweeties, and please follow us on all of our social medias. That would be, as you can see it on the bottom, Docusweeties, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Docusweeties, TikTok at Docusweeties2. Yay. All right. That's all I have to say about that. Let's go on ahead and put this up for you guys who would like to, donate for the hee hee ha ha's. And let's jump right into this episode. The first couple that we are going to talk about is Chloe and Emily. Guys, I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Emily is awful, and I have a hard time watching her because I have nothing but negative things to say about her, and I don't want to be one of the myriad of people on social media downing this person. But her edit, I can't even, like, is it an edit, or is it just that the way she is, or is that just the way she is? You know? So we start off where she's in the car with Temperature and Kobe, and it looks like they must have gone to like lunch or something. And these two are bantering back and forth in their language. And she's like, English, please. And even that, you guys, I don't know if you speak another language. I don't know if you speak another language and then moved to a foreign country where you're homesick, you've been arguing with your partner, and you are basically living in a house where you are not contributing at all besides feeding horses, right? And then someone from your country comes and you speak to them in your language, even though you're in front of your significant other. But you have moments where you just speak to that person in your language. And your significant other is just insisting that you speak English. Girl, if the conversation was meant for you to be in it or to understand it or to hear in it, they would be speaking in English. Let these two go on in their language. I mean, I guess it's because in my household there are 2 languages spoken, English and Garifuna. And like if my dad ever broke out in Garifuna, in Garifuna with his sisters or his friends, and my mother was there. Like, it's just par for the course. I mean, they're not having long, like full exclusive conversations, but I mean, they're saying things every once in a while, or sometimes they're just communicating. It's easier to say it or it sounds better in their language. Spanish speakers know that. Sometimes you want to say something, and to get it across to your friend, you say it in Spanish because it sounds better. It feels like the person is going to get what you're saying a lot better. I mean, it's just annoying. It's annoying. I don't care under what circumstances. Why didn't she just let temperature drive then if she didn't want to be like just Anyways, now I'm not saying the temperature is perfect. I think he is sowing a lot of negative seeds in their relationship, especially coming with that misogynistic African men are a certain way nonsense. Like, obviously, African men are not in a certain way, because then Kobe would actually be standing up to Emily and telling her to back down and to calm down, as opposed to just telling us in his confessionals. Like, I just don't get it, you guys. I'm a nice person and I plan on being very nice to my partner. And I don't understand how someone like Emily gets to be with somebody. How does she get a partner? How? She's awful. I don't know what she was like in China, but she's awful to Kobe. So she takes temperature back to her house like they're teenagers, and wants to show off her parents' house that she didn't do anything to earn, and wants to show temperature Kobe's living situations. And it looks like they have a pretty good situation. In every room he takes temperature in, Emily has to follow. I said, girl, just drop the kids off at the pool and go home. Like, just let him walk around this house with his friend. Then they are in one of the bedrooms. I'm assuming the bedroom that Kobe stays in the most. And he temperature basically says, Kobe would get along a lot better in Columbus. Like, there's a more of a Cameroonian community, an African community. I know you're out here and you're happy and whatever, but like, this ain't it. You could be around your people if you move to Columbus. And immediately Emily's like, we're not moving to Columbus. No. Kobe, you want to move to Columbus? And then this is just like, again, the American likeness in her, where she is unable to like think about how lonely her partner might be. There are so many ways to have this conversation. And one of it being, you know what, Columbus might be great. Like, maybe we can see about visiting it so that you could see the community. I would want to check it out. We can't move there financially for 2 years because of just the way our situation is, but I would definitely check it out for you, or definitely figure out how you could get there, um, a couple times a year to maybe visit some friends and like some restaurants. And I would definitely want my son Coben to know his culture. So it'd be really cool if maybe we did live in Columbus, Ohio, because what I do for work is not specific to Salinas. And so then temperature ends up telling them like, hey, you're about to have another baby. You guys need to be thinking about your future. And that pisses Emily off, which I'm not mad about her being pissed. Like, she's perfectly allowed to be pissed because she did ask him not to tell anybody. However, he has nobody in the world but you. And if I tell my significant other something, let me just tell you right now, I am going to just bank on the fact that they're going to tell their best friend. That's it. I'm banking on the fact that they're going to tell their best friend. I don't for 1 second believe that Emily hasn't told anyone that she's pregnant. And if she hasn't, it's because she knows that everyone in her life would judge the F out of her. And so it is a violation. However, I do think that going forward, she now needs to assume that if anything is between them, he's going to tell at least one person. I would expect it. Anybody that I'm dating, I would expect that they would expect that I would tell one person whatever was happening. And I might not. I don't tell my friends everything, but I might tell them a little something. And I would expect that they would tell their friends a little something too. So I just feel like it's silly. So she gets upset and she leaves. And then she ends up driving temperature back to the hotel, and it's an awkward drive. And they get, I think it's the next day, and she is cleaning up, and she picks up an iPad, chooses to charge the iPad, which is really nice. Let me tell you right now, if I see somebody's iPad, unless it's my nephew, which is like his lifeline, I would not think to charge it. Like if I found somebody's phone, I wouldn't pick up the phone and take it to the charger. It just wouldn't be me. It's just not my thing. So I thought that was really kind of her to make that gesture. But then she turned it on and saw that he was looking at listings for 1-bedroom apartments in Columbus, Ohio. And she's like, what the F? Gets upset, marches down to the stables to tell him that she saw on his iPad that he was looking at 1-bedrooms. So she's like, I don't know if you think that we're going to live in a 1-bedroom. I don't know if you think you're going to move there by yourself, but Columbus is not an option right now. So please stop bringing it up. And I thought to myself, well, you already know that he's interested in, so why wouldn't he look to see what the cost of living is like? And I look at the cost of living everywhere, and not because I'm planning on moving there, just because I want to know. And he's like, well, we haven't even talked about it. And she's like, yeah, we are talking about it right now. And the answer is no, we're not doing that. Okay, we cannot move. So stop even thinking about it. God, I get so infuriated at her. It makes me want to cry. It truly does. Here I am, sad and lonely and single, and someone like Emily, who talks to someone like that, has a partner. I found a sound on TikTok that, like, I think I'm going to make a video because it really does just like touch my spirit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm low energy today. I'm having a hard day. Today's been a hard day. I'm having a hard day. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding my low energy. So it was annoying for me to watch her, stomp away and like be demanding and everything that she's being. And I don't ever want to take away a woman's power, but I don't think she's a good partner. I think she's fucking mean. I think she's mean. Okay, so let me say hi to all the people in the room. Here we go. Monica, Kayri, Globehopper, Jaja, Christelle, Danielle, Zelle, Dedria, Baba Baby Binky Blanket, aka Jasmine, Sasha. Hello, Christina. Hello, Lily. Hello, Aaliyah. Hi, Tiff. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the room. Do we have Ramsterdam or Mickey here? I don't see them, but that's okay. I'm just, I don't see them. Adriana, Rashana, hello. While you you could find any desperate passport chaser, don't even compare yourself. No, you don't know my life. I can't find anything in anyone. Hello, Monica. Hi, I'm glad that you were able to catch the live. JW, Iman, Talinha, hello from Tokyo. Arigato gozaimashite. Monica, JW, Teresa, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. Okay, that's all I can do right now, but hello. So next couple that we are going to go on ahead and talk about are these two. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't watch their segment, but I did see that she looked very beautiful, and that dress snatched. I mean, here's the truth. Cara is one of the best dressed 90 Day Fiancé cast members in history. I mean, we've got Anfisa, right? Always serving the looks. Who else did we have that was always serving? Chantel. Chantel serves looks. I mean, I don't know if she did in her seasons on 90 Day, but definitely for the family Chantel, she serves looks, which I'm going to go ahead and include Winter in that too. But like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, Cara is really up there, and it is so simple. It's so feminine. It's so delicate. It isn't overbearing. I mean, everything is just so effortless. It looks great. I watched her do a makeup tutorial, and I said, you know what, girl? That's it. She's giving us a glow. She's giving a little highlight, a little shadow, a little contour. It was great. It's very minimal, and her outfits are so cute. That hair, so cute. And Guillermo and his little cute self, he was cute too. That's it. I didn't actually watch the vows. I just wanted to see her with the dress on, and I went about my business. Oh yeah. Yara too. Yara. Okay, wait, Juliana. Okay. Yes. Give me more. Give me more. Yeah, Yara, you're right. Yara. Thank you, Annie, for that one. Monica says, thank you for this. Can we do a matchmaking circuit here? We must find Juan, Chris, and me. Thank you. A a suitable man. Love it. And me. Thank you. Thank you for that laugh. Thank you. I needed it today. Okay, let's move on to our next couple, and that would be Bilal and Shaida. Okay, what to say about them? In this episode, Bilal's mom comes over to speak with Shaida, and she wanted to get basically some like elder advice about Bilal, and she was telling his mother that they are fighting and there's friction and she doesn't want this friction. And the mother says, well, Allah says something about contracts. And I said, oh really? Does Allah say that? That's so interesting. And Shaida was like, yeah, I know he says something about contracts. And the mother says, Bilal has been hurt so much, and I just can't stand this narrative that Bilal has been hurt so much and it took him so long to open up his heart. There's something pandering about it. There's something that like doesn't make me, I don't know, it just makes, I don't know, maybe I'm just having a hard time understanding the depth of Bilal's pain because he's such a douche. The way he presents is just so terrible to me. And so everyone's really protective of Bilal and his heart. And the mother said, a prenup is just what it is to protect assets. And Shaida says, well, I don't think that I should be, under fire, or she said I should be something like basically seen as the bad guy before I even get married to somebody. And I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, that is true, but I don't necessarily know that she's being seen as the bad guy. Here's the truth. I was never against the prenup. I think the prenup is important. I think as two grown people, a prenup is only responsible. Like that whole fairy tale, I'm going to stay with you no matter what. Now, it is possible. It is possible. And I could do that too. I could do that with somebody. But it wouldn't be a fairy tale. It would be me literally walking in being like, I'm not getting out of this relationship no matter how much you bother me. I'm dragging you to therapy. We're going to live separate lives. Like whatever it is, I'm not leaving this marriage. I could do that. The only thing that I would only listen, let me tell you the top reasons I would get a divorce. If you stole money from me, from us, meaning you took money and gambled it away, you took money and is like paying for some other hoe to live a life. Like if you were just like taking care of a stripper, yeah, I'm leaving you. That's stealing money from us. You can't steal money from us. Okay. I would leave if you were physically abusive to me. That's a no-go. I would leave if you were like emotionally or mentally abusive and we have talked about it and we've gone through therapy, but I would make you go through therapy. And it, like, let's say you just never stopped. And every time I was with you, I felt belittled. I would have to leave. But truly, I'm trying to think anything else. You know what? I would leave if you gave me an STD. Because I'm like, not only are you out there, you're out there unprotected. Because here's the truth, I don't need monogamy. If you want to be non-monogamous or, whatever version of non-monogamy is out there, you just have to tell me. Don't be lying to me about it. And even if I think to myself, if you got a baby on somebody else, would I leave? I wouldn't leave if you got a baby on somebody else. Now, if you got a baby on somebody else, no, I'm trying to think about child support. Like, would I be upset? I think I would divorce so that not all of our money went to child support, because I personally feel like I shouldn't have to pay for your making choices outside of our marriage. And like, if we make a certain amount together and they take into consideration the amount of money that I make or I contribute, my contribution to our marriage, and they take that money and give it to that woman. Because here's the truth, many women aren't just putting that money aside for the bebe. If I knew that money 100% went aside for the bebe, then I would be okay with it. But if that money went to that hoe's rent, cause she a hoe, cause she knew he was married and she got pregnant. No, just kidding. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't want to pay for some other girl's life, you know? And if you were out there in the streets making poor decisions about who you have unprotected sex with, then we'd have a whole other conversation. But there are very few things that would make me get out of a marriage. And those are the things: stealing, giving me an STD, lying to me. I can't do those things, because how are we supposed to have a beneficial, mutually loving relationship if you're doing those things? Like, Libras are known to share. Like, just idea of just like not being happy. Like, I literally can be happy. I will move my stuff into another bedroom and I will live a separate life and I will remain married. We can be happy. Anyways, okay, someone just said, I don't do affair babies. You're not having a baby on me and I stay. Okay, I see it. I could see that. But I'm saying, like, if we were non-monogamous, ethically non-monogamous, and he were to find somebody else and have sex with this person and get this person pregnant, I don't know that I would leave unless the person is coming after like a good chunk of my money because it's tied up with him. And I feel like she's living a lavish lifestyle. Like, you're not going to be able to take, like, we need to talk about polyamory then. I mean, or polygamy then. If she's pregnant and she's trying to like live off of us and is not working and just is trying to like live off of, no, you just gonna come in this house and clean. Like, no, you're being my sister wife. You move into this house, this baby coming in this house too. You don't got a job, you clean. Like, I'm gonna find something for her to do. I'm gonna find something for her to do. Okay, anyways. So I'm not against the prenup. And the mother said, like, just in the prenup, you don't always have to be right. Don't cause stress on yourself, girl. Like, Bilal's a good man. I raised a good man. I raised him to be fair and loving. And the truth is that you can lead from the back. Now, this whole idea of the man being the head and the woman being the neck, or you can lead from the back, like, I've heard many a women say this, and I feel like it's a weird manipulation. I don't want that manipulation. And I don't think it's like a malicious manipulation. I don't want the fantasy. I don't want this person to have the fantasy that they are like leading me and I'm just supposed to pretend to be meek and I like subliminally and subtly tell them the things that they should do. Like, what I'm saying is like, I could be submissive. You can lead. But if I don't like something, we got to talk about it. Like, I guess here's my thing. If I have decided that someone can lead me, then that is what I have decided. And so therefore you lead. I have decided that your choices are good. I decided that, I trust you, that you won't lead us into hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm endowing you with my trust. And so I don't need to control the neck, because I have already given it to you. And I've already said, this is what I know. Now, if you come back to me and you're like, hey, thank you for giving me all the power, but here's what I want you to be in charge of. Even to me, that is still being submissive, because the person is giving me a task and I'm taking that task and I'm doing what I want with it. But like, I don't like, if my partner comes to me and says that they would like to live in a community of their people, then I would go live in that community with their people, because that's my partner and I love them and I want them to be happy. Now, if I get there and I am unhappy and I'm like, you know what, we need to try something else, and he refuses to budge, then that's a problem, because I did what I needed to do to support him. So why can't he do what he needs to do to support me? So basically, the mom convinces Shida that she just needs to let go and love Bilal. And so Shida agrees and says that she just needed that, like, I don't know, like beating of the heart or whatever to get where she's at. She has a conversation with Bilal and tells Bilal that his mother spoke to her heart and that she's going to sign the prenup. However, in the prenup, there needs to be some stipulation about her protection. and that she wants to have kids by 40. She wants to have a child by 40. And he's like, okay, we'll talk about it, or I don't know. And she's like, no, Bilal, no, it can't be that. It needs to be yes or no at this moment. And he's like, okay. And she's like, great. And it just feels like this conversation could have happened 2 weeks ago. And it's like, he's like, oh, once Shida agreed to sign the paperwork, then I agreed to everything she wanted. And I'm like, but we just found out about the paperwork 3 episodes ago. There was stuff happening in y'all's relationship prior to the prenup. So like, why are we supposed to believe that like all of a sudden everything's going to be okay? This was a really bad job. I mean, Jabri and Miona did a better job of faking their storyline than Shida and Bilal. Speaking of them, Bri and Miona, or Bri, what is the name? Jabri and Miona. Let's move on to them. So in this episode, Jabri has decided that he is moving out. It's been a week since they had that awkward conversation on the couch, and 3 days before he and Miona is supposed to get married. And so those two are now going to Joshua Tree. They've rented a space and they're going to get married there and they're going to live there. And Miona is skip to my Lou, my darling, the happiest person I've ever seen ever in my life. She's like, okay, bye. Okay, bye. Bye, bye, bye. And Mahalia is like upset because she feels like what Jabri is doing is impulsive and is not a good decision. And Brian's like, it's hard to watch your child be with somebody who isn't right for them. And I'm like, y'all really feel like Miona isn't right for him? Or you guys think that your son is a fool for the way that he's behaving over this girl? Like, I don't know. What did Miona do to y'all? Why is she not right for him? I mean, they're gonna get married. It's like, it's whatever, I just like, it's sometimes you watch these shows and you're just like, you want to just let these grown people do what they do, huh? Just let these grown people do what they do. So I do agree that he's being like impulsive by just like leaving. Oh, and before he leaves, he wants to make sure that she has her roller skates. That was like the craziest thing. The whole line. Do you have your rollerblades? She's like, yeah, I think I packed it in the bag. I'm like, so they're gonna drive to Joshua Tree, to their new abode, and they're matching in their pink puffy sweaters, puffy jackets, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for Mahala being so sad that she like walks into the house after they leave and it's like, ugh, and walks away. I'm here for her like super thick goddess locks or sister locks. What are they called? The really tiny ones are sister locks. I mean, truthfully, her hair must be really strong. Okay, because I did dreads for a good chunk of my life and they never got that long. Ever. Because they would thin out once they got to a certain length. Just the weight alone. So I'm just so happy for her and her hairstyle. Every time I see it, I just like want to see her like whip it. I want to kind of touch it. Because I'm like, it's really quite immaculate, you guys. I mean, for those of you out there who just think like, oh, she's black, she just has dreadlocks. Like, no. The kind of style that she has, it's more than just dreads. They're called sister locks, I believe. There's that kind of locking is called something very specific. And it's when they're teeny tiny. They're just the tiniest little teeny tiny. And you just like, and it's just like, I know it's got to be heavy, but I mean, it just looks really good. And I'm like, who in South Dakota is doing her hair? Where does she go to get that done? Monica says, yes, and Wah and I couldn't be in the military. We'd only take orders from people we thought were smarter than us. Wow, thank you for knowing me so much. Thank you for understanding. I literally couldn't. I'd be like, oh no, you're an idiot. I haven't given you the power to tell me what to do. Like, I have to give you that power. You have to be given the power. Okay? Given the trust. You have to prove to me that you know what's up so that I can let go. Because otherwise, I'm driving this car. So, anywho, why did you have bigger or smaller locks than Mahalia? Bigger. But they weren't like fat locks. They were just regular locks. Sister locks are actually much lighter. You mean like in weight? So they're lighter in weight. So maybe her hair isn't heavy. Oh, good for her then. I'm happy for that. Okay. So they go off into the sunset, and Mahaley is a little upset. I was waiting for her to start crying, but she didn't. It would have been really the cherry on top if she had started crying. All right. So next couple that we've got are Pat Thais. So they alluded to this in last episode, having us believe that Patrick was going to, that Thais was going to was going to hop on a plane and go home, but that's not what happened. So we start off this episode where she is packing a bag terribly. And she says that Patrick has planned this trip without talking to her, and they are going to Massachusetts. And they have to pack both winter clothes and summer clothes because after Boston, they're going to go to Florida to get married. And Thais is not sure that she wants to marry him because she says that she really trusts her father's instinct, and Patrick has been controlling and he's not the person. But she goes there to meet his family, and his mother is dying of cancer. Patrick says that he was told that she has 1 year to live. And they get to the mother and the sister's house. He says he's not that close with his sister, but things are getting better. And they get to the house, and the sister has a black eye, y'all. And I thought to myself, why didn't she cover it up? Now, I know her eye would have been red, but the producers are like, this producer is like, all right, so let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Are you an MMA fighter? Like, why do you have a black eye? And this is just like, oh, I'm not an MMA fighter. I fell on the ice and I hit my head. And I said to myself, I fell? Blink twice, madam, if you need help. I mean, how? Yeah, I know you can fall on ice, but like, how do you fall on ice and get a black eye? Did you fall and trip and hit like a railing? Oh my God. She says that it was much worse and it looks better now. And there's a bunch of jokes online about the ice having like a fist. Like she fell on this ice and it's like a like Mr. Freeze's hand. Like it's a lot. And I don't want to like, make trivial in case she is in some crazy ass situation. But I would have, if I were her, I'd have been like, well, I got in a fight with a bitch in the grocery store. You should see her. That's what I would have said. That's what I would have said. She said she fell on ice. How did you fall is what I want to know. Like, because you would think if you fell on ice, your arm would be hurt too, right? Because you tried to catch yourself, or you didn't like. How did she fall? Like if this is ice, and I fall, I have to land right here, right? I don't know. I've never had a black eye, so I don't know. Wahima, don't even get me started. It's been a bad week. It has been a bad week. So I just don't get how this girl fell. So we're moving on to the most important part of this episode. And that is the fact that Patrick's mother said, I'm going to be on TV. Oh, you're not going to catch me without my orange lipstick. And I could not fault her. The eyebrows were aggressive. The eyebrows were eyebrowing, okay? They were Anastasia of Beverly Hills browing. But they browed. And I can only respect it. Because I like to talk a lot of mess. I like to talk a lot of mess about women getting on this show and coming to the stage with no makeup on. But mama said, I still got my hair Okay, chemo ain't take it. Chemo ain't took my hair, and guess what? I'm gonna put these eyebrows on and I'm gonna give you this orange lip. And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. Okay. So mother doesn't have a filter, and it was really weird and xenophobic at dinner when she was like, my American kids, my grandchildren are gonna be in America. Your grandchildren are coming out of a Brazilian vagina. Okay, they are stewing in a Brazilian womb. They can live in Brazil. Don't worry about it. Oh, come. Oh, I mean, Zelle, thank you so much. Yes. So I don't even know why they were talking about their kids, because Patrick didn't have, at least as far as we know, doesn't have kids with his first wife. Maybe because his penis wasn't working because of all the testosterone, or all the like whatever he was taking, the steroids. One. Also, like, they're not even married yet. So please do not talk to her about her womb. She's 25 years old. They don't need to have kids right now. They're fine. They need to work on their relationship. And, I don't know if they're planning on having kids before you pass away, but like, I don't know what to say. And also, it's really weird because Patrick told us that his father was Brazilian. So why are you so weird about this Brazilian woman? Didn't you get you a Brazilian man? It was weird. Anyways, there was a cute little child in that, and he keeps on like outing her when she's like, oh, is everything okay? Does your family like the fact you're getting married? And she's like, yeah, everything is fine. And Patrick's like, no, her dad hates it. And I'm like, Patrick, like, they weren't asking you. Let the girl like lie if she needs to lie just to get through the day. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of English coming at her. And then she goes wedding dress shopping with the sister, and she finds a dress that is really cute. I hope she gets it. And she just doesn't feel like a bride, she says, because she really doesn't know if she wants to marry him, which is like, you shouldn't marry him then, because she doesn't want to live in the US. And I really just wanted us to have a moment where we acknowledge the fact that she does not necessarily want to live in the US. Because if she had said, oh, yes, I want to live here, then your questioning would be, oh, are you with Patrick for the right reasons? Because you want to be in America. But now that we find out you don't want to be in America, now the questioning is like, oh, well, do you really even like Patrick because you don't want to be in America? Because Patrick's not going to move to Brazil. You don't know what Patrick can do. It's just like weird. It was just weird the way like we weren't acknowledging the fact that like, yeah, maybe she does love him and maybe everything is okay. And it's just a lot of like, oh, I'm his big sister, so I want to ask you some questions. Like, he just finished telling us that y'all aren't close. Don't be asking Thais nada. Okay, nothing. Lisa says, oh, hi, Lisa. Loved how prejudiced Mama thought she was the same as Mexican. It's crazy to me because she was supposedly with a Brazilian. You would think she would know where Brazil is. You like spicy food? No. Thanks, Monica. You'll all learn my business. LJ says the assumption that the foreign partner wants to be in America is ridiculous. Maybe just came to be with the person they love. Exactly. Thais is too young to know what the hell she's going on or what she's doing. She's 25, so I'm not going to say like she's super young or whatever. It's better than her being 22, and then like it's better than what Karini had when she came here, and dating Paul. It was just a weird segment. There was a lot going on. There was no John in it, so it wasn't funny. It was just awkward Patrick and, wedding stuff, and she doesn't know she's gonna wants to be married. And we see next episode that she's got her wavy hair at the pool or on the boat, and I really enjoyed that moment. I love a natural hair look for any woman. Anything else about them that happened that stuck out? I don't think so. Is that it? Did I talk about everybody? Good. I'm ready to go. Oh, I talked about these two. Alrighty. So let's talk about Eve and Muhammad. First of all, this is my exact facial expression for Muhammad. Someone's gonna screenshot that. Okay. So Muhammad gets up and he does his prayer. And he talks about how Eve's lifestyle, especially the fire, is not aligned with him. So he goes on the phone, he calls his mother, and his grandmother are in the shot, and he's outside, and he like walks outside with no shoes on that dirty concrete, girl. Like, I love walking outside with no shoes on as long as like the concrete has been like cleaned, and that was not cleaned. And he sits down and he has a conversation with them, and he tells his mother how the culture is different here, and that Eve does a lot of things that he doesn't like. And he asks his mother if she thinks that Eve should dress like women in Egypt. And his mother's like, no, she should dress however she wants to dress. You're in her culture. I can't say that she should dress like us. Like, that's not her culture. Don't be over there acting up, Muhammad. Don't be over there being grumpy. Don't be over there, putting your faith and your beliefs on her. You have to acclimate yourself to what her lifestyle is and the things that she's gotten going. Go on ahead and love that little baby Theron. Give them my best, but you be on your best behavior over there. And he's like, I did not know my mother would talk like that to me. She is completely on Eve's side. And I said, yeah, because she wants you to not come over here being a knucklehead. Also there's better opportunities for you in the US, and so you need to stick it out and figure it out. And so he then takes her to dinner, which obviously she pays for. And she's looking at the wine list, and he's like, is that dessert? And she's like, no, it's wine. And he's like, oh. And she's like, well, I'm not going to have any. I'm just looking. And I'm like, what do you mean you're just looking and you're not going to have any? Go ahead and get you a glass of wine. And she's wearing an all black pantsuit sort of situation. Maybe it's not a pantsuit, but she's wearing an all black with like white shoes. And I wanted to like it, but I felt like she couldn't walk in the shoes. She wasn't giving me like taka 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 taka. She was giving me like and I wanted taka 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 taka. That's not what it was giving. And then he's like, I wanted to show you this lovely view over here. And she's like, okay. And I cringed my little heart out. This man gets on his knees and proposes to her. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so happy. The last couple of weeks have been kind of sucky and they weren't very nice. I'm like, it was just gross. It was gross. I can't believe this 47-year-old woman, after the way that he's treated her and talked to her over the last few weeks, telling her he's not a babysitter and she needs to hurry up and get this wedding so that he can get his green card and do things he got to do for his family. Hi, Mickey. Welcome to the room. And then like all of a sudden he gets on his knees. He ain't got no money. He's not paying for this dinner. Where you get that ring from? I thought her ring was ruby. What's going on? No. I mean, I want to live in a fantasy world too. That's what I want to live. You know where I want to live? In Fantasyland. I want to live in Fantasyland too. So, anyways, that's the end of this episode. It wasn't that great for me. Obviously, it didn't, make me feel anything. But what did make me feel something is Discovery Plus has just launched 90 Day Fiancé UK. And I watched that, and it's good. Please let me just take a poll. Drop the UK emoji if you have Discovery Plus. I'll wait. No hee hee ha ha's? Nobody felt the hee hee ha ha's? You guys would know what that was if you listened to my podcast. Alrighty, so Vanessa has it. A couple people have it. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you guys have it. Dating doula says Eve is lonely and wants love. Poor decision making, but hopefully she makes it out intact. Dating doula, thank you so much for becoming a patron. Let me shout out the patrons first of all, because you guys are super supportive. Why won't it? Who can it tell me who my patrons are? No, 11. Nope. Well, tell me who. Tell me who. Nope. I wish it would tell me who. No, it's not telling me on this. I'd have to go get audio RSS link. What does that mean? I know that Marsha Endeavor is a patron off the top of my head. Who make it? Maybe I can go to my email and it'll tell me. Do 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 do. Okay, who is a patron? Wanna shout you out? Should have thought about this before. Amorina, thank you so much. She says that she's a driver and that she listens to me while she's on the road. Thank you so much for becoming a patron. Who else? This is gonna annoy the heck out of me. But anyways, thank you so much, you guys who are patrons. I wish that it would tell me my settings. Nope. Profile, posts, overview. 11 patrons. But when I click on it, it doesn't tell me who those 11 people are, which is annoying. What's this one? Jeff and Tess and Marissa. Thank you guys so much for being a patron. Oh, here it is. Aaron C. Thank you so much for being a patron. Charity. Thank you so much for being a patron. Tess. Thank you so much for being a patron. Marsha Endeavor. Amorina, thank you so much. Marissa, Melody, and Renee, our very own Renee is a patron. Lisa Collins, our very own Lisa Collins. Jeff and Susie Sue. Thank you guys so much. There's lots of content on there for you guys to look at right now. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos on there and 3 like little videos. There's 5 full episodes of Love in Paradise, the visual. If you guys want to listen to that, do it. Okay, a good amount of you have Discovery Plus. You guys go on ahead and just watch 90 Day Fiancé UK. It's very good. It's going to make you go, why? Victoria, hello, why? The Domestic Gordita, how are you? What? There's only 8 likes? Is that Mr. Bean, Globetrotter? Is that Mr. Bean? Replay gang for sure. Yeah, I'm doing Sister Wives right after this one. We're talking about the one that aired last Monday, and then I'm going to watch today's episode and go live hopefully tomorrow, maybe later on today, if I can fit it in. Yuli, hello. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hi. Glad you're well. Oh, okay, great. Yes, I am going to review the UK one, which is why I was asking you guys. So, I mean, where am I going to fit it in, you ask? Who knows? But the truth is that I'm not watching The Family Chantel anymore. As soon as they announced that they were divorced, like, why am I going to watch this show now? It was too early for me. I don't want to see them fight. What I'm going to do is one day when the season's over, I'm just going to watch it all and then just end out the season on my channel, but I'm not going to be recording another video on it. It just I can't. I can't. All right. So you guys watch 90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise or Love in Paradise the Caribbean. Watch 90 Day Fiancé UK. I'll be talking about those because they actually give me joy. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's Mr. Bean on top of a top model. Okay, great. I can't watch it. Lisa says the likes only register at the point you enter the chat. Mine says 34 when I came on board. Oh, okay, great. All right, you guys. So that is the end of this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Join me again in like 10, 15 minutes, and we are going to talk about seeking sister wives. Not today's episode, but last week's episode because I finally watched it. So Love in Paradise is on my podcast. The podcast is Docusweeties, and that's me and my good friend Chris Farah. So if you just go to wherever you have podcasts, except for Google right now, it's not on the Google Play, but it's in Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on Stitcher, it's on Overcast, it's on all the other ones you can get podcasts on. And just search Docusweeties. The D is capital and the W in Sweeties is capital as well. And you'll see it there. Or you can join with Patreon for $10 a month. And then you can see all the episodes and the visual of it, plus little extra thingies. All right, guys. Have a fantastic evening. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.